All right, addicts, this is DJ Rem live on Rock Addict Radio, and I have Demon Boy on the line. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, DJ Rem. What's happening? I want to say hello to everybody tuned in. I'm hanging out. I was in the chat room before, seeing everybody in there, so welcome to all the little ghoulies.
Exactly. So if we can start, well, first off, definitely want to thank everybody that's in the chat because we have a packed house tonight, and definitely thank you for stopping in prior to kind of hang out. I appreciate that a lot.
Cool, thanks. No problem. I had to go in and just feel the vibe going on.
Exactly. And I want to give a big, huge shout out to my brother Werewolf, because Wolf hooked me up with you in the beginning here, so a big shout to him because he's definitely sent me some great music. So props to you, brother.
Awesome.
Okay, so if you don't mind, let's start. If you could introduce yourself and the other members of the band.
Okay, great. Well, I am the amazing Demon Boy. Down in the chat room, I know that my bassist, Chris Cyanide, he's down in there. He's an awesome 6-string bass player. Been in the band now about 6-7 months. He's just fucking incredible. My drummer is the Boogeyman, Trey the Boogeyman we call him. Awesome powerhouse little drummer back there. Straight from hell, we got that guy. And then brand new in the band, we have Shreddy Krueger. He's my new lead guitar player. His name is Ron Toss, but we lovingly call him Shreddy Krueger because he can tear the shit up. We just did our first show last weekend at Parafest up in near Allentown, Pennsylvania. We did 3 days up there, and our Saturday night show was just way over the top. Full house, great show, great event. I mean, we all just had a great time, and it was actually our first show for our Halloween Horror Tour. That kicked it off, and we're actually playing again tomorrow night in New York and Brooklyn at the Trash Bar.
Killer. And how many shows do you guys have lined up for that?
Right now, I think there's about 13, and they actually keep coming in. We just got booked again today for something in late December, which for us, Halloween's all the time. So when we say we're doing our Halloween Horror Tour, which I said kicked off just a couple days ago, we start Halloween early, and we'll run clear right up to Christmas with that.
That's cool. Very cool. So how long has Demon Boy, has this been around? How long have you been doing this?
Okay, I launched Demon Boy in February of 2009, and that was at New York Comic Con. I was a guest there, and it pretty much kicked off right then and there. So it's been just about, what is it now, like four and a half years, 2009 till now. That's really about it. It pretty much took off right away, and things have been just going really well, and I couldn't have been happier.
Very cool. And then how often do you guys all get together and practice?
We do it once a week. Tuesday nights are night, and depending, as long as we're not doing shows, like right now, since we have so many shows, we don't bother going in and doing any rehearsals because it's just our time constraints just don't even allow it. But on the average, if we're in between tours or we're working on new material, which we are kind of doing right now a little bit of, we can talk about that in a little while. But on the average, I'd say once a week, maybe a 3-4 hour session. Okay,
well, go ahead. You can talk about it right now.
Well, what we're doing is we're trying to get out a EP. We're having a little, because of the tour and our hectic schedule, we're really struggling with the time. So we do plan on releasing at least the first single, which is going to be called This Halloween, which the fans know, if you've been on my YouTube channel, there's some live videos of us performing it in the past. And we have the new lineup, creating a new sound for the song, and we're putting out that song hopefully by October 15th. It should be available for everybody to listen to. And we're also going to come out with another song called Zombie Dance, which is in our live set right now. And we're actually making a remake of Born Dead, which was on my first album. So we're going to actually redo that, because since I got this kick-ass new lineup, the sound of the band, while the horror and creepy sound of the band is still basically there, the new lineup of musicians, it was just only right to go in and re-record some of the bigger hits with the new guys, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it out with Born Dead. So you'll get Born Dead, This Halloween, and Zombie Dance all coming out this fall.
And then, so where's going to be a good place for people to find that at once it's released?
Well, it'll immediately probably show up on our Reverb Nation page, which is really easy, reverbnation.com/Demon Boy. I'll get things loaded in the player there. That player is also right on my demonboyband.com site. right on the homepage. So it will instantly get uploaded there for people to listen. And what we're going to probably be doing at the shows is we're going to be giving away these EPs for free to everybody. It's just sort of a thank you to the fans. And, you know, we love Halloween and we want people to enjoy Halloween. So I really want everybody to own that song this Halloween. So we're just going to be giving it away for free. If you show up to a show, you'd be lucky enough to grab one.
Okay, well, very cool. Well, I encourage everyone that's in the area that can make it, go to the show. Check it out.
Absolutely. Is that a good enough incentive? Free music.
Free music. I mean, what's better than that? Nothing. So, what got you into music? What kind of influences have you had in your life that made you want to do something like this?
Well, when I was a teenager, I was always a bit creative, and I started playing actually guitar at the age of 13. And I played guitar pretty much most of my music career until I started Demon Boy, and decided to just become the lead singer, even though I have a huge hand in writing the music. I've written most of the music for the first 2 albums, and I just kind of, I guess, you know, I'm one of those people. So there are some naturally creative and artistic people out there, and I guess that I just happen to fall into that. And it just was something that I started doing, playing guitar, fell in love with music, and, you know, here I am now, you know, today, you know, a few years later, and now I'm the lead singer of Demon Boy, you know.
So how has it been for you to keep this going? I mean, has this been this project, this band, has it been tough, or has it been everything kind of went pretty easily for you?
I would say actually easily. When I started it, I really had a plan in mind of what I was going to do as far as creating a new band. And me and one of my main best friends, who is a huge contributor to the band, my buddy Joe, what we did was we concepted out what the character would be, and we created Demon Boy. And you know, I was a huge Alice Cooper fan. You know, into things like Rob Zombie and stuff like that, and you know, always into horror my whole life, watching horror movies and all that. So, you know, I already liked that genre. And then when I sort of discovered the horror genre of music and started getting all into that, I decided that that was probably the way I wanted to go, creating my next band. And I created the Demon Boy character, and it's been developing. Like, the character actually develops every year, and just increases in all different sort of dynamics of the character. And the band and the concept just seemed to take off right away. As I said, when I launched it in 2009, Fangoria did a piece on me, and instantly, about 4 weeks later, everybody knew who I was from that initial story on Fangoria. And then it's just been a constant uphill ever since then. So it's exceeded my expectations to this day.
Oh, that's awesome. And I wish you continued success. I hope things just continue to blow up for you. That's awesome, man.
I appreciate that. Again, you know, we're still running around as an indie band, and you know, we seek out, you know, to just keep climbing the ladder and just get up there. We really want to tour globally, and I really want to bring Demon Boy out to the world, because a lot of the fans know it's the live show. I mean, if you're just listening to the music and you're watching, you're just seeing my photos on Facebook and everything, it ain't nothing compared to actually coming to one of our live shows. It is just a full-blown party. It's not what people expect, and that's the first thing everybody says to me when we get off the stage. They come over and say, no matter how much they thought they knew what we were going to do, they were completely surprised. And that is what the Demon Boy live show is about. So I urge everybody, you come out, if you can, catch one of the shows on the Halloween tour, but definitely if you're ever in your town, just come to a Demon Boy show. And if you want us in your town, find some local promoters and get them to bring us there.
Okay, very good. Well, if you decide to come to Michigan, let me know.
Yes, I definitely plan on getting up there. We have a huge fan base in the Michigan and Ohio areas, and we're really going to try to get out there. As a matter of fact, we just played with these really cool guys, Sleeve. It's actually Isaac Hare. He's Doyle from member from Danzig, and he's a gorgeous Frankenstein, and he's got his own band now. It's his stepson, and really awesome guy, and he's got a great new band. And they're from Chicago, and we're actually talking now about touring out through your neck of the woods there in Michigan to get over to Chicago and back. So I'm sure that probably in the next 6 to 8 months you're going to be seeing us up there, Rem.
Okay, well, I'll be looking for it, and if you know, like I say, if you know you're coming, make sure you let me know, okay?
Oh, you're definitely going to be the person I call, yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so I have first question from the chat.
Sure.
From Mr. Werewolf himself.
Okay.
He wants to know what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show.
Wow, craziest thing at a live show. I don't even know. You know, there's nothing that strikes me. There's one thing that I don't even know I want to talk about this on the air because my bass player is he's gonna laugh his ass off right now. But if you want to hear a really fucked up story, it was just the other week at the Blue Room show when we were in the so-called dressing room, which was basically the men's room, and in comes my drummer and starts washing his hands in the urinal. Now, at that point, I thought I was dreaming. I was like, wait a minute, is this really happening? But, you know, that's about the craziest thing that I've actually seen. Other than that, I think it's pretty much a run-of-the-mill stuff when we do the shows.
That's awesome. That is probably one of the best stories I've heard. Because I always ask this. He beat me to the punch. I always ask this question during my interviews, and you never know what I'm going to get. But that definitely is one of the most messed up stories.
I think if you search around the internet, you'll actually find the photo that was taken at that point in time. That'll back up my story. Awesome.
Okay, another fan in the chat, Kellen, wants to know: is your hair soft?
Sometimes. Not right after a show. It's usually drenched in sweat. Now, for the most part, yeah, it's pretty soft.
All right. And I have another question, and I'm not quite sure about this, so I got another question from the chat from Wolf again asking about the comic book. So what's up with the comic book?
Oh, yeah, the Demon Boy comic books. There are issues number 1 and number 2 are out now. We actually just sold out of issue number 1 recently, and I have a few hard copies of issue 2 left. They do go rather quickly because I can only print on paper a scarce amount of the books. There is a web page on Facebook. You just go to Facebook / Demon Boy Comic Book, and there's a web page there. If you go to demonboyband.com, there's a tab for the comic book, and you can go get some glimpses at a few of the pages from inside, and the awesome artwork done by Helmet Epic, and the inker is John Niehaus, and these are two excellent artists that draw the book for me. The comic book, what we're going to try to do now to make it a little bit more accessible to everybody is I'm going to turn it into an ebook and make it a less expensive download, so you can just download it to your computer, and so people can enjoy the book. Because I understand a lot of people don't like to collect the comic books, but I know that they're interested in seeing it, reading it. So I'm going to make it an ebook soon. Everybody that doesn't have a hard copy, but yeah, the comic book series is a continuing series. Issue number 3 is about halfway done. It'll probably be out early next year. It takes a long time for me to produce one of the books because it is produced by myself and Helmick and John. It's the 3 of us pretty much putting out the book. It's not being published by any companies right now. So it's just like I said, it's an ongoing story. It tells a crossover story of Demon Boy, the fantasy Demon Boy, and Demon Boy the rock star. So it actually blends the two of them together, and it's a really elaborate and intellectual story if you read it. So I don't know what else I could say about it other than just try to go get some of the teaser pages that are out and take a look at it. And if you want, go to my website, order a copy, and I'll have those ebooks up probably within the next couple of months.
Okay, very cool. And the questions in the chat are just continue to roll, and I love this because I love questions from the fans. So Renee wants to know how long it takes you to get ready for a show.
About inside of 2 hours. I got it down. If I'm really in a rush, I can do it in an hour. But I am a bit of a diva before a show. And I have to have like one personal assistant constantly helping me with my outfit, my hair. It is a lot of gear to get into. It's like getting into an armored suit when I get dressed before a show. And yeah, I'd say roughly inside of 2 hours I can do it decently.
Very good. And I think you already answered this one earlier, but we'll bring it up again just so everybody can hear. Rich in the chat wants to know when the next CD will be available.
Yeah, that's going to be the EP that we're hoping to get out. it was planned to come out by October 1st, but again, the tour schedule got so busy that it came in right when we're still recording the tracks actually, and some of them are starting to be mixed and some are actually still being recorded. So again, we're hoping for 3 songs by October, but the first single will be this Halloween, which Rich that's in there, I know who that is, that's Rich Orth. Rich Orth is a dark poet. He just came out with a book called Poetry Girls. It's an awesome book. You can get it on Amazon. Rich, I know you're there. Put your link in. Everybody get that book. If you like dark poetry, this is some awesome stuff. Me and Rich met several years ago, and what Rich is right now is he is my sidekick writing the Demon Boy lyrics. We wrote our first song together, and it came out, and it was Cemetery Girl, which is on the Dawn of the Demon album, and that became a huge hit. Right then and there, I knew that me and Rich working together was the right thing. His sense of writing, when I give him the subject matter, and he's able to tell the story of what's in my head, and we came up with Cemetery Girl. We also did This Halloween is another mix of Rich Orth's lyrics and mine, and Zombie Dance, which is the other song I mentioned is going to come out in the EP. That's another one written by Rich and I. And we have several others that are in the works that are going to be coming out probably next year when we're able to do a little bit more recording. But that's it in a nutshell to answer Rich's questions. And like I said, everybody go check out Rich's book, Poetry Girls. It's awesome.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, and that's amazing. I mean, I don't know how you guys met, if it was just by happen chance or what, but I mean the fact that you guys have been able to connect like that and now make these, come up with great songs. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. You know, it reminds me back, you know, the Elton John and Bernie Taupin. I know this is a metal show, but you know, let's go old school here. That writing team, you know, when I'm writing for Demon Boy, it's actually some of the stuff comes easy, and some of the stuff I really gotta, like, you know, fight my brain to think of these things. And then when I met Rich, and if you want to know how we met back in the MySpace days, and we've been friends ever since. And as a relationship developed, and I started looking at Rich's writing, that's what made us start working together. And then as soon as we started working together, as I said, it just clicked, and now we're off and running.
Very good. I have another question from the chat. See, they don't even want me to ask my questions. They're stealing the show here, which, like I said, I love it.
Good.
So, let me see. We got the House of FX, quite the name, but hey House, cool man. They want to know, where is your dream place to play?
Wow, my dream place to play. That's another tough one. It's not in the United States, I can tell you that. I am so looking forward to playing in other countries right now. I don't really have a place in mind that I'd like to go to play, you know, because if, you know, nowadays, you know, what am I going to do? Say Madison Square Garden? Of course, everybody wants to, you know, achieve that and get to the Garden. So I really don't have like a place that I'm dying to play, you know. But if I can mention what I just said, we have some options right now to go to Russia and go to Japan, and we've been working on them now for a little under a year. It's a lot of work to get all that put together, but once we start touring out, you know, maybe I'll find some places that I'll be like striving to play more often, you know.
Yeah, there's got to be some cool places in Europe you could play too, I would think.
I've heard of some giant arenas over there. There's that, I think, what's that called, the One Arena or something like that. I think it's in London. I've seen pictures. There's a huge place. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of great places.
So Renee has another question for you. She wants to know, what advice would you give a brand new band just starting up?
A brand new band starting up. Wow, that is not such a hard question. I get talked to a lot by younger bands that are coming up and ask me about how did I get so popular on the internet, and how I keep it up and what I do to run all of that. With a brand new band, I mean, with me, there's two ways of looking at bands. This is what you call jam bands, and the guys that don't want to dress up and they just want to get up there and play their music. I mean, I can't give a band like that much advice. But if you want to stick out a little bit, you know, with me, there's gimmick and there's image. And, you know, if you're going to come up with a band and you're really looking, you want to be a rock star or whatever, you know, then you got to work on image and branding and working. You know, I work all day long. When I started Demon Boy, I spent 14 hours a day on the computer networking and building my audience. And what you got to realize as a young band is we live here in America, and you go to bed at, say, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you wake up at 8. But Australia, Japan, South Africa, these countries are waking up at 2, 3 in the morning, and when it's 8 o'clock in the morning here, it's, the afternoon over there. These are prime times to strike at these other countries. And if you go on and you network outside your comfort zone and outside the United States, and you start building your audience much, much faster.
Yeah, very cool. And that actually leads me to something else I wanted to mention. I wanted to give you a huge thank you for all the promotion you did for tonight's interview, because I'm not going to lie, it's rare and far between when bands promote like you did for tonight's interview. And we can tell, and it shows because the chat is packed tonight.
Well, thank you. Well, that's another thing. It's so cool that you asked me that, and Renee asked that question about you telling young bands. I am considering. I have a little side company called Demon Boy Productions, and I have a video editing house here. But one of the things I'm going to start offering soon is I'm going to start offering to help bands out with management as far as image consulting and stuff like that. And the marketing, what you just mentioned, the way I market, I get praise on that a lot. I mean, it's not really rocket science to figure that out. You need to promote yourself. These bands, you got to promote yourself. You got to promote your shows. I mean, it's common sense. A successful band will have everybody in the band promoting. Now, when I promote, everybody knows that what you just said, Rem, I promote everything to the point where I'm sure some people are sick of seeing the post that the Demon Boy band makes. But I try to make each post different. Like when you wake up every morning, my page is like a newspaper. It's like, okay, what's brand new in Demon Boy's world today? It's never stagnant. I've got so much stuff going on that I can't even possibly promote it all at one time. So I'm so behind in so many of the projects and events that the Demon Boy's involved with. But you're welcome for the promotion. I mean, hey, this is a sharing of a resource. I'm going to promote your show. I'm going to be on your show. I want the fans to come listen to my show, listen to you. You're a great interviewer. I mean, I've been catching up since you invited me to come on the show. I've been catching up on your show, and I absolutely loved it, or I wouldn't be here right now. I've been on Rock Addict Radio in the past with some other DJs, and I just love being here, and I'm actually honored to be on your show tonight, man.
Well, I totally appreciate that, and you're so right. I mean, I always say this is a big circle. I mean, without the band, without the DJs, without the fans, I mean, none of us have anything. So we all have to work together.
Exactly, that's it in a nutshell. Yeah. Exactly.
So, and I just want to let you know that Rich just gave you big props in the chat. He said you're the best promoter he's ever known.
Yes, I am.
So, very cool. So, okay, I got to know, where did the name Demon Boy come from?
That's a story. This goes back to, again, MySpace. When I was building the act, I started out, and I was just kind of developing my character, and I think I was putting pictures of myself up there, and I was talking with a friend. It was a girl who was just a friend who was a girl, but she turned around one day and said, from the way I was talking to her, she goes, you know what? She goes, I'm going to call you my little demon boy. And I said, what? And she goes, I said, I'm going to call you my little demon boy. I said, demon boy? And I says, wait a minute. And that's where I got the name from. I swear to God, I didn't dream it up. That girl said it in a line to me, and it just clicked in my head, and I said, that's the name I'm going to use.
You know what? That is the best way things come to be, where it just happens, and you're like, that's the correct, it's right.
Yeah, see, there was something she knew most people. I mean, most people think I do come off I am a very nice guy and stuff, but I have another side of me that if you get on my wrong side, you'll see that demon boy come out.
Very good. I think we all have a little demon boy in us, or demon woman.
Yes.
Oh, and I got to go back because I was kind of laughing about the House of X, but that's actually a I lost it here. It's actually a promotion company he has going. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
So what else? How did you record this music? Did you use a studio? Did you do it yourself? Where'd you do that at?
Okay, well, the first album was done in Ohio at a studio called Strawberry Fields, which there was, while I was there, Linkin Park were in there. Bob Dylan had come through the studio. There was some guys from Lynyrd Skynyrd coming through. I mean, there was just one star after another. This was a great studio. It was actually owned by one of the last bass players for Lizzie Borden. I think his name was Gary, or I can't remember his name, but he had passed away from cancer, and his wife now had owned the studio, and that's where I recorded my first album. And the Dawn of the Demon album, the second album, was recorded here in New York, and I did that with another old partner of mine, Mr. Steve Noir, who is an awesome guitar player and an awesome writer, and he did the Dawn of the Demon album with me. And as I said, the new album, what we're doing is we actually brought our own gear into our own studio, and we're recording it that way. We're doing it on our own dime right now.
Well, it sounds really good. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, we're trying to do the best we can with what we got.
Yep, exactly. Very cool. Okay, so here's a question specifically for you. If I grabbed your iPod, or MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, what bands would I find you listening to these days?
As far as, I don't really listen to too many new music. There's not really too many bands that I see coming out that I care too much about. And to be honest with you, I don't even keep tabs on it that much. I'm so encompassed in my own band and working for the band that I don't even know who the hell's out there half the time anymore. So when I do listen to stuff, I mean, I psych myself up by listening to Alice Cooper, and I have a lot of music that people probably never heard of in my iPad. I've got bands like Angel in there and bands like Legs Diamond in there, and I listened to an excruciating amount of Angel. They were one of the bands, theatrical bands back in the day, of why I like to do it nowadays as well. Frank Domino is one of my favorite singers of all time. But my iPad's filled with that. But I you know what I like? I like to listen to a lot of Rammstein too.
Good stuff.
I listen to Wednesday 13, the Myrtles, and things like that.
Okay, very good. And there's another question from the chat. Kellen again wants to know, what's the weirdest thing a fan has ever done or said to you?
Weirdest thing a fan's ever said or done? Well, that's another strange question. Other than stalking me, I get my share of stalkers. I don't. You know what? Nothing's coming to my mind. I haven't really had those weird situations, or I think my team is pretty good at keeping people far enough away from me before any weirdness does happen.
Very good.
Yeah, but I really don't. I don't have it. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have any crazy stories like that yet.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Eventually.
So I'm sure.
Okay, we have a new listener that just joined, Miss Francine, and again, this is kind of something we talked about earlier, but I want to make sure that everybody gets their questions answered. Right. So, Miss Francine wants to know, when do you plan to tour my town of Grand Rapids, Michigan?
Weren't we just talking?
I know, she just joined.
The whole Michigan talk. Yeah, we're trying to come back out that way. I did play up that way back in, I think, late 2009. I think I did about 7 or 8 shows in Ohio and Michigan area, and I haven't been back since. We're trying to get out, like I said, we might go on tour with Sleaze and a band called Devil's Daughter, and we might head over through your neck of the woods to get to Chicago to play with them and come back. And we booked several tours out. Now, if you guys want us on a tour, you got to realize I can't just leave where we are in one thing and fly 5 states over. So we try to book a tour, and that takes a lot of time, and that could take months, up to a year sometimes, to get some of these tours booked. So we're trying really hard. All I can tell you guys is, if you want us, you need to get the bars that you want us to play to somehow contact the agencies or contact my booking agency and my management and request us, so that I know that you want us to come to that particular area, and then we will try to string a tour through you. And that's the best advice I can give everybody right now.
There you go. Everybody listening, contact your local venues and tell them you want Demon Boy there.
Right.
I have one in mind already that it's going to hear about you guys later tonight.
Awesome. That's the best way. I mean, that's how we get around now. You know, I do get asked every now and then, like, oh my God, can you bring that show of yours here? You know, we'll do parties. I like to do events, Halloween parties and things like that. We're going to be doing some theme parks this year and next year. But like again, yeah, just get to your local venue and get them to find my managers and stuff and contact us and get us out there.
And Sin Fix says you rock, Demon Boy, and salute.
All right, horns up, bro.
Renee wants to know if you've had any Spinal Tap moments.
Yeah, we have them all the time. You know, I see our band is a little bit Spinal Tappy every now and then. You know, we're not so serious all the time. You know, but we use a lot of comedy. But yeah, I've had wardrobe malfunctions. Let's say I've had a lot of people don't see it all the time because I'm usually wearing black underwear too. But my pants rip in the crotch at almost every single show. Now, I don't know if that's because I have a very large thing down there or. But I've had the pants ripped, the zippers come flying open, my wings come off on stage, or I get caught on like Chris's headstock on his bass. Or I got caught on my drummer's cymbal stands, and I get caught there for like about a minute. Remember when the guy was caught inside the big cocoon and he couldn't get out? Well, that'll like happen to me. My wings will get caught on somebody's gear on stage, and then I'm stuck there for a couple minutes until it comes loose.
That's awesome. Well, it probably wasn't at the time, but it's an awesome story now.
Yeah. When something like that happens, you know, you just run with it, and you make fun, and you put it into the act as part of a comedy. You know, it's just ridiculous to get all mad or something like that. So I just roll with it, and we laugh it off, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, I've seen stuff's falling over, and I've accidentally, I wear those big, giant Herman Munster boots on stage, and I stepped on the guitar cords to my guitar players, and I pulled them out. I think at the last show, I remember my bass player, Chris, he turned around and he said, hey, he says, who stepped on my pedal board and turned all my boxes off? What I did was I had my corpse doll, and I threw it down on the stage, and I threw it right on top of my bass player's pedal board and shut off all his pedals.
Well, you know, stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where is a good place for people to find out more about Demon Boy? What social networking and websites do you use?
Okay, we got everything everywhere. I've got around 6 or 7 Facebook pages all together. You know, my main one is Demon Boy Music. So go to facebook.com/Demon Boy Music. That's where you'll get the main band page. Then there's my personal pages. If you just go into the search window and type in Demon Boy, or type in Demon Boy-DB, because that's how the Facebook police are making me spell my name, you can find me. My main website, demonboyband.com, and I urge everybody, go to my YouTube channel, Demon Boy Band. Just search Demon Boy Band or search Demon Boy Videos, and we have several videos on there. My last one, the Red Riding Bitch, has climbing up to 400,000 hits. It's been out for about 5 months. That's for the Cannibal Diner horror movie that is coming out here in the United States on DVD and Blu-ray October 15th, which happens to be my birthday, and we're actually having a huge show at Blackthorn 51 in Queens, New York. It's Tuesday, October 15th. Scary Cherry and the Bang Bangs are coming up from Texas. They're on a tour right now. They're going to come up and do 2 shows with us, and if you guys don't know who Scary Cherry and the Bang Bangs are, the lead singer, Leslie Dean, is the blonde girl that kills Freddy in the Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare movie. She was also in 976 Evil, and she was also in the other horror movie, Girlfriend from Hell. They're very good friends of mine. I've been waiting for 3 years to tour with them, and they're going to come up and do a couple shows here in New York. But that's not to get too much off your question, but yeah, go to my YouTube channel and check that out.
Oh, that's okay. You can wander from the question all you want, man.
Okay, fine, great. Yeah, so come to that birthday show, guys. We're gonna have all kinds of demon goodies and cakes and stuff like that. That's gonna be a great show. And let me see which shows. Let me run down a couple shows. You know, we are playing a Trash Bar in New York, in Brooklyn, tomorrow night. So if there's any of you New York ghoulies out there, get down to the Trash Bar tomorrow. We're gonna put on a hell of a show. Next week, we've got 2 really big shows. Saturday night, we're traveling up to Yonkers, New York, and we're going to play this place called Barney McNabb's. We already know that this show's nearly sold out, so if anybody wants to go see us in Barney McNabb's in Yonkers, Saturday night, we're playing with E5 150. They are a Black Sabbath Dio Years tribute band. These guys are badass. This is going to be an awesome night, packed night, lots of fun. Come there. The very next night, we have the honor, we are playing with Raven and Empire of Evil, and that's going to be in Amityville, New York. And Raven, the Gods of Metal back from the 80s, they're still kicking ass, they're still around. It's a great honor to play with them. And Empire of Evil features Demolition Man and Mantis, ex-members of Venom. And this is going to be a fucking killer show. So that is next weekend coming up. Demon Boy's selling tickets right now for this Raven show. All right, let me tell you, everybody, they're selling the tickets for $18. If you buy a ticket from Demon Boy, if you write me on Facebook, I'll sell you a ticket for $10. How does that sound? Do it. If you get on my Facebook page before that show and you write me, I'll sell you an $18 ticket for $10 to come see us play with Raven and Empire of Evil.
That is so cool. And, of course, why do you have to be so far away, man?
Again, what I said earlier, we just want to tour more.
Yep.
All the fans and everybody can help us out by getting your venues to request us, get us out there. The more requests we get, the easier it is for me to book a tour.
Okay, very good, man. Okay, anything else? Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to make sure people know about Demon Boy tonight?
Yeah, I got my Demon Boy video game as well. We talked about the comic book. There's also a video game. The gamers, if you know the game Half-Life, there are codes on my Demon Boy video game webpage, which is on Facebook, that you download into Half-Life, and it opens up the Demon Boy video game. We're going to be hosting a Demon Boy video game on our own server soon, where you can just play it there. This is an online game. It's not for PlayStation. It's an online game. You play it on your computer, but you have to have Half-Life. If you don't have Half-Life, you can buy it. It's like $10, and then the Demon Boy game opens up for free. So that's another little extension of the band too, and we have about 5-6 different levels out right now. They're all great. There's the House of the Demon. There's a Halloween level. There's all kinds of great levels. That was something. With the Cannibal Diner that we talked about, we're going to have the American DVD release party here on my birthday on October 15th. If you're listening in any other countries right now, you can get Cannibal Diner right now at Amazon in Germany, Austria. It's available in most areas in Europe right now already, but it will be for sale in Canada and United States on October 15th. Great horror movie. Again, my video, Little Red Riding Bitch, you played the song earlier when I was in the chat room. I got to thank everybody, and I want to thank all you fans. I saw so many people requesting you to play Little Red Riding Bitch, and I'm really, really humbled by that, and I really want to thank everybody. So that video for that song is on my YouTube channel, so show some support with the Cannibal Diner, too. That'd be awesome.
Okay, very good. Just a reminder to everybody, I have 5 Demon Boy tracks that I'm going to be playing directly after the interview, so do not go anywhere. Stay tuned. You're going to get a whole bunch of Demon Boy in your face.
Great. And if I may, I got to hit one other thing. On November 30th, we are coming back to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and we are going to be playing the launch party for Steel Notes magazine. This is a rock and roll magazine by Susan Steele and Steele Entertainment, who are a entertainment agency and a booking agency and management company that work closely with Demon Boy, and we're going to be the main act at the night of the launch of that party. This is going to be a great red carpet event, so if anybody's up in that area, come out for that and look for Steel Notes magazine. Of course, you're going to see us in there, and you're going to see a lot of other great bands.
Okay, very good. And I got one last question from the chat, and then the chat people, you're cut off. That's it. You're losing it here. Kellen wants to know what kind of products you use in your hair.
Okay, yeah, everybody wants to know. There's a lot of tricks to that, because people that dye their hair a lot know that red is probably the hardest color to keep in your hair because it washes out so quick. Rule number 1, don't wash it. Here's what I do. I will bleach out the hair to a light blonde, not really platinum. It's like in between a strawberry blonde and a platinum, and get the blonde foundation. And then basically I just use a regular Revlon red that you can go into any beauty supply store and just buy the red color, just straight up red. You don't got to go buy all this crazy manic panic bullshit and all that fucking fucked up shit. You don't need that. You go buy this regular Revlon shit. It's like fucking $7. That's what I dye my hair with. Now, there are tricks that you can't wash it that often. Now, that's not to say I don't wash my head. Yes, I have special dry shampoos that I wash my scalp with, and then I try to minimize how much water is actually rinsed through my hair to keep the dye from running out. Otherwise, I'll be coloring my hair every week. So that's one of the tricks I use. And I do not have to use too many chemicals or anything in my hair, just a straight iron. And I have some custom brushes that keep my hair because it tends to get matted a lot, and because it's so long, it'll get little knots in it. And I have special brushes, and that's really what I do to maintain my hair. Let me tell you, it's not really that easy. It is a pain in the ass keeping this fire hair on my head. Yeah.
I can't imagine. I just do a little mini faux hawk, and it takes me forever to do that. So I can't imagine how long it takes you to do your stuff.
It's worse than people can imagine.
Okay, and I lied. We're going to take another question from the chat because they're hounding me. Demonette wants to make sure that you talk about the Halloween party in the Catskills.
Ooh, yeah, that's Halloween night. We are so busy with this tour, and the week of Halloween, I think we're playing almost every single night. And on Halloween, the actual night, Halloween day evening, we will be at a place called Doubles 2 up in the Catskills. This is a great dance club to come to. It's got people that come see Demon Boy, it's going to be decked out for Halloween, and Halloween night, Demon Boy, we are bringing it. So that's going to be the show to be at.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank you once again for taking time to call in, and thank you for answering all my questions and taking all the questions from the chat. We got a packed chat tonight. Everybody in here loves Demon Boy. The station will continue to push Demon Boy and play you guys for sure, and we'll keep doing our part to help you out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody in the chat room, and all my girls that work for me, and Rich Ross, and just everybody in my great band. We're having a lot of fun. It's Halloween, guys, man. Everybody's been waiting. We've been waiting a year for this. It's Halloween now. Just going to kick some ass. Thank you for the support from Rock Addict Radio and you, DJ Rem. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, definitely. No problem. Okay, I'm going to have you hang on the line real quick, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, addicts, Demon Boy, what else can I say?